Good morning, Ju. How are you?
Hello, good morning, G. I'm fine, and you?
I'm all right. So I am Gisele from Gringopolis.
And I'm Juliana from Up-Level Idiomas.
So we are here today to show you how people are learning English in a different way, in an enjoyable way.
Sure. So why don't we explain a little bit about each step of our class?
Great idea, Ju. Great idea. So all the videos, all the classes are based on a video. So if you haven't seen this video, stop the video right now and click in the link below. And then you come
Good.
back to do the rest of the class with us.
Good. Yes. So then we're going to take a quiz here, in order to check the comprehension of the subject in this video, right?
Perfect. After the quiz, we are gonna discuss about the videos, see what you think about his ideas and share opinions. That's where you are gonna practice the language.
Yes. And at the end, we'll try to use the new language presented, right? Presented by the speaker. So it's going to be a lot of fun, right?
For sure it is. Okay, so let's start. This is the beginning of the quiz. So in the beginning of the video, he says, "Welcome to the beginning of an incredible journey. We truly are living during the most extraordinary time ever in human history." What is Peter talking about, Ju?
I believe that he's talking about, let me see, great advances in some areas of technology, the coverage of all these technologies and transforming kind of business model, how extraordinary some changes are happening. I think, in my opinion, sort of the three of this.
It's a combination of the three of them. Yeah.
Yeah, he mentioned the three, right?
Mm-hmm.
The three sentences there. He says about great advances in some areas of technology, how we are advanced. Also, how these technologies are transforming business models, right? And we can see that really clearly today. And how extraordinary some changes are happening. Yes.
Okay, we will see this thoroughly in the next pages. When is he forecasting those changes? 10, 20 years, in the next decades, during this decade?
I believe during this decade.
Yes, it's already happening. Exactly.
It's already happening, right? Because he says there's something right now, right? Of course, that he says something about the future as well, but he says more about what is happening right now.
Exactly. So we have to be agile. Okay, what do we need to surf on top of the tsunami versus being crushed by it?
Yeah, that's very interesting. He does this comparison, right, with the tsunami because it's coming, right? So to make sure that we're gonna be on top of it, I believe that we need agility, right?
Agility.
We need to follow how everything is changing so fast, right? So since we are talking about the future and thinking about how things are changing fast, I think we need agility. This will be one of the biggest skill for a person nowadays and in the future as well, right?
And what agility means? It means that you have to be you have always to study and understand what's going on and change whatever you have to change in your company to follow the new era, right?
The tsunami.
The tsunami.
To follow the tsunami, you needed to be aware of everything that is happening, everything that is changing, right? Especially he mentions about the entrepreneurs, right? And how important it is for them to understand changes and make sure that they are going to follow along, right?
That's right. That's right. So let's see. What is the Moore's law?
let me see, this one, the number of transistors could double in 12. Every 12, 18 months, we could see an innovation communication. Double numbers would be very common.
Do you remember
it-
Morse? Who is this guy from the video?
Yes, he's the guy from a couple of decades ago, right?
Yes, he created Intel. Remember?
Yes, Intel. Yes, correct,
Mhm.
correct. Yeah, he's co-founder of the Intel.
Mhm.
I think it would be that 12 to 18 months.
Letter A, that's right. Because in that time, they forecast some agility that was 12, 18 months. Okay, but what they want to show comparing the Moore's law is that this is so slow compared to nowadays, right?
Yes, that's true. That's correct.
Okay,
Yeah.
so he found that his law was so fast for that time, but now
yeah, if you think about the decades that he invented Intel, it was like in the 50s,
wasn't
right?
it?
In the 50s and 60s. So
Yes, around
the
60.
world was so slow comparing to today.
Yes, exactly. So one expression Peter uses is, we are accelerating the acceleration. So this is
Yes,
true
exactly,
because each
exactly.
thing that is invented accelerates the other thing and go,
Yes.
on and on and on.
When he says that accelerating the acceleration, it's kind of scary, isn't
Yeah,
it?
it
Oh my
is.
gosh, where are we gonna stop? I think there's no stopping now.
No stopping. Let's surf on the top of Tsunami and enjoy the view. Okay, next. What happened 40 years forward? So we talked a little bit about it. The technology doubled the number of transistors 100 times. The Core i9 processor has got 7 billion transistors and it's 27 billion times better. Or within 45 years, the changes were impressive as they have been in all other areas.
Impressive as they have been in all, prefer the changes were impressive as they have been in all other areas. The i9 processor, 7, it's 27 billion times better. Yes, let it be.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So imagine not doubled in 12 years. It is 27 billion times better. That's
Better, exactly, yes. And you can see
crazy.
the increase, right, of processors, and it's so different, yeah.
So in this part of the video, he's talking only about processors, right? And after he blends with all kinds of technologies. When Peter compares how we used to spend time and how we spend it now, we have less time for innovate. We now have more time to innovate, or we should only think of innovation.
Yeah, he does a comparison, right? Because in the past we spend a lot of time thinking how we're going to survive, right? So that was the how human beings used to spend time. Nowadays is innovation. How are we going to innovate, right? So I believe would be letter B.
That's
we
fine.
Now have no, huh?
Yes, that's right. B or
Yeah,
C.
we now have more time to innovate. Yes,
We
because now we don't need to worry about surviving, right?
Exactly, exactly.
like human beings used to do in the past. So now we have more time to innovate. And people are doing that, right? We are spending more time thinking about how we can do better, how we can change this, how we can do differently.
To spend less time and do a better job and produce something better, right? Exactly. Okay, what other examples of abundance does Peter give? Energy consumption related to the use of light, the resource of money, or communication?
communication, right? It
All
says
of them.
about communication. Yeah, all of them actually. Yeah, we have the resource of money, the energy, consumption, yes, use of
Do you
light.
remember
Yeah,
he
I think
told
all
the
of them.
story of light, that it was
Yes, true.
necessary 1,000 people to produce a, a blink of light, a beam of light, right? And then
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
nowadays we use light and we don't even notice we are using it.
Correct. Yes.
Okay, so we have
True.
abundance in all the areas, and communication was so different. I felt by myself the difference. When I was living in
Yes.
England, I sent fax to my parents, imagine, because
Wow.
the phone calls were so expensive.
Wow. You know, and it's so interesting because we saw this change, right, of communication. Like, for example, from letters, then telephone and emails, and then like now video calls and WhatsApp and everything that we have nowadays that is so easy to communicate with someone from like any country, anywhere, right?
And
So
you don't
easy,
pay
so
anything,
fast.
it's for free, right?
Exactly. Yes. It's amazing how this changed. This is like for me one of the best changes ever, like communication, how we can communicate with people anywhere. We can know news about any country, anytime, you know. So
At the exactly time it is happening. Do you remember?
exactly. Yes. That's awesome. Yes.
Okay,
Mhm.
so let's move to the second part of the lesson. Okay, now we are going to discuss a little bit what he has said in the video and give our opinions. It's not a
Mhm.
strict way to question and answer things, right? It's just a
Mhm.
way to discuss and find out what is your opinion. What does
Mhm.
he mention about crowdfunding and startups?
Um, he says about crowdfunding, that he says something about the billions of dollars, and let me try to remember about like in like a couple years ago it was like 375 platforms, and with like a projection to grow a lot until 2025, right?
That's right. He showed a post of 5 years ago, I believe, and there were only 5 or 10 startups. And then he showed how is it now and how they will be in a very close future, right? Because there are
Correct.
so much money being invested in this kind of companies.
Yes, that's true.
They are appearing everywhere.
Yes, so true.
Okay, so what does he say about the speed of internet?
He mentions about the gigabytes, right?
Yes,
The
that's right.
connection and
I love
how
this word gigabyte because in Brazil
gigabytes.
we say so differently, don't we?
Yeah, and how much is going to speed up, right? How much like it had done in the past and how much is going to be also in the future, how internet's going to be so fast. It is fast. He talks about 5G and how this technology it's happening already. And in the future, how this is going to increase a lot as well, right?
Mhm.
The
Uh,
speed of internet.
yes, he said we are going to download a movie in seconds, right?
Yes, exactly. Yes.
Okay, why is it it's not Silicon Valley so in power of innovation anymore? Because everything we find as innovation is started at Silicon Valley, right? We always
Yes.
say, oh, the genius are there and they created everything. But now he said, it's not anymore. Why not?
Because now it's everywhere.
Exactly. There are geniuses
Now it's
everywhere.
everywhere, right? Yes, yes. All around the world, you can have access to innovation, and you can innovate, and
And you
people
can
are doing
mix,
it.
you can combine your knowledge with other people in the other side of the world and find out something interesting, right?
Correct. Yes. Yes.
So that's what's going on. How are we going to be connected to the new cortex of others? I found this so interesting.
Let me try to remember. He says something about connecting brains, right?
With the
I forgot. Interface, like
with the cloud.
with the clouds. Yes, correct. Yes, yes,
Okay,
yes.
so we are going to
Yeah.
connect our minds to the clouds, and then all the minds will be connected in the
Will be
clouds.
connected. Yes.
That's
yes.
fantastic. That's amazing.
That is, yes, that's amazing.
So imagine
And
in the past we used to have the knowledge in a bookshop or in a library, right? And it
Correct.
was a physical place to store all the knowledge. Nowadays we have the cloud to store. So imagine the amount of knowledge we will have contact with.
Yes, yes. It's going to be a lot of information. Nowadays, we already have, right? If you think about it, we already have too much sometimes.
Exactly.
But we can see that in the future is going to be even more,
even more,
right? These connections, and how people are going to, you're going to see the kids coming up and like already have so many information, and have to deal with this, right? With this amount of information, and what you're going to do with this. That's the question, right? What society, what human beings are going to do with so many information, right?
Yes, we have to learn how to choose the right information, to choose how to deal with so much information, right?
Yes.
Okay, so how can Singularity University predict next year's evolution?
I don't know if I remember this one. What he says about it. He says
it's the opposite. They cannot predict.
True. They cannot predict what's coming. Yes. I think nobody can, right?
Nobody can, because imagine we are connecting so many geniuses, so many people, so much knowledge, and what is going to happen? We don't know. There are so many things coming on.
Yes, it's hard to know. It's hard to know. Sometimes I talk to people about this, about technology and where we're gonna go with this, right? And it's very interesting to think about it, to see what's going to happen. I remember in the past we used to watch movies and say, "Wow, can you think about like a place, or somehow we're gonna have these in the future?" Now we are in the future and we have this technology is happening, these things coming up, and it's hard to know what's going to be the next steps, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I remember also, Ju, that here in Brazil, we thought, oh, in the United States, they already have iPods, for example. And 5 years later, we started having iPods here, remember? So we knew what was coming from the future, because the United States was the future for us, right? And now everything is happening at the same time.
At the same time.
What happens in China, in the United States, happens here already.
Yes.
Right?
Yes,
so we don't have this time of preparation or excitement to see what's coming, because it comes at the same time.
It's coming, yeah. The technology is coming almost at the same time, yeah. Yeah, I think the only thing, the only difference would be the countries, how much the country is prepared to receive these technologies, you know. I think that's what is what changes from country to country, you know. I
Yeah, in
think
Brazil, for
that would be the
example,
only difference.
a good point, because Brazil is not ready yet for 5G, is it? Not everywhere.
Exactly.
So they are talking
Yes,
about
exactly.
this speed of technology, and sometimes it's going to be a little bit slower in some parts of the world. You are
Yeah,
right.
sometimes, yeah. I think it's because of the, like I said, how much the country is prepared to receive this technology, right? And some countries maybe are not so prepared to receive at the same time as our country. But for sure, we'll have this technology as well. Just, I think it's sometimes just a matter of time, right?
Yes, it's a matter of time, exactly. What does he say about longevity?
About something about like velocity to like from 12 years.
We will be younger
He says
for a longer time.
about like you postpone like how we're gonna get older and older, right? Is it that part where he says,
Yes,
"Oh,
yes. He says that we are
be
gonna
100
reach
years," like,
125 years. Exactly.
yes, yes, because everything is improving so much. And if you think about like our health and how we're going to be in old, so it's also postpone our death.
I hope so. I'm very, I'm
But
very
I hope
happy
in a
about
good
the
way,
news.
right? I hope that we're all gonna be healthy and good, right?
But it's
If that's
happening
the case,
already,
that's
isn't
right.
it?
Huh?
It's happening already, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because we, for example, I am in my 48. So in 100 years ago, a 48 woman was an old lady. And I
Yeah.
don't consider myself an old lady.
Not at all, not at all. Today, if you think about it, we consider as a law here in Brazil, elderly people starts with 60. But when you look at 60 years old, it's like, you're not
They are
60.
okay. They are okay. They don't need anything special for them.
Yeah, they are so healthy. They are so good. So it's totally different, right? From like decades ago. That was not so long time ago, if you think about it.
Yes,
So yes, it's changing already. Yeah. For example, I believe that my grandma's generation did not expect that they were going to last so much. Like my grandma is 94, 95, yeah, 94. So I don't think that she expected that she was going to be so old.
Yes, it's true, because her family has died so much younger.
Young. Yes, that's true. Yes.
Okay, so I think Peter is giving us a bunch of good news.
Yes, that's true. That's true.
Okay, so
I just hope to get old but healthy.
yes, for sure, for sure. But I don't know if it was in this video, but he said a lot of innovation in the health system, and also they are producing organs in the 3D prints. So this is gonna be amazing. Okay, so what is
Yes,
his
that's
challenge
true.
to investors and wealthy?
Investors and wealthy to follow these changes. It would be amazing, like a network. You need to have a lot of good network and make sure that you're going. He says something very interesting at the end, that he says the wealthy and investors, they need to think, how can I improve the world, right? Something like this. How can I make how can I solve a problem, right? How can I solve something?
So he asked the wealthy people to invest in solution, That was amazing.
Yes, exactly. To invest in solution. Yes.
That was
That would be
amazing
the
because
idea, right?
we have so many problems in the world, but the rich people, the wealthy, they are investing, they are thinking about the problem. So I think we will have solution for many, many problems like hunger or drought or things like that in the world, right?
Yes, yes. Yeah, that's really nice, you know, to think about it. To spend your time and your money to solve problems. That's the idea, right?
Fantastic. Okay. These amazing changes at this pace, do they motivate or scare you?
No, motivate. Motivate, yes. Sometimes it's a little bit scary if you think about it. Yeah. You
Yeah,
think about it, it is a little bit, you know, it's like, oh
it
my
is.
God, everything's changing so fast, right? Am I going to be able to follow along, you know?
Mhm.
Sometimes it can be a little bit scary, but I think it motivates more, you know,
I agree
than
with you.
yeah.
I sometimes get feel scared because I think I've heard a statistic of 50% of what we know now we wouldn't use in the future. We will not use in the future. 50%.
Wow.
So it's
Wow.
scary, isn't it?
Yeah. And it's kind of motivating for you to keep learning,
Yes,
right?
exactly, exactly.
Keep learning, just simply like that. It's like, yeah, okay, if this is gonna help me in the future, so let's keep learning, let's continue our learning process. And I think it should be like that, right? Learning, it's amazing
It's proved
anytime,
that when you are
anywhere.
learning, you are healthier, right? Your
Yes,
brain is healthier.
yes, exactly. Yes.
Okay. Do you agree we are living through the most extraordinary time?
I believe so, that we are living in an extraordinary time, but maybe the other years to come might also be extraordinary as well.
Yes. I think we are gonna see many changes in this world, and
Yeah.
hopefully we will be here to see that.
Yes, exactly. I want to
Healthy.
see those changes. I really want to see it.
So do I.
Those
So
are exciting. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Okay, and the last part of the class is the part that you said we are going to use the vocabulary used by Peter. So we don't need it to remember exactly what he said, but let's try to use his startings.
Okay.
So welcome to the beginning of an.
An incredible journey, I think it says.
Mhm,
The
all
beginning, I
right.
remember more. It's easy to remember. The
Okay.
beginning of the video.
Okay, so we could say, welcome to the beginning of an extraordinary era, something like
An
that. Okay.
extraordinary. Mhm.
Okay. It's been continuing since the beginning of.
The beginning of the beginning of great life and this planet, something
Mhm,
like that.
mhm. The evaluation is being continuing since the beginning of the century or the life in the planet. Okay.
Mhm, mhm.
The reality is that people have no idea.
How fast the world is changing.
Perfect. The world is changing faster than you think. The title
Then
of
you
his
think,
book.
yes,
Okay.
yes, exactly. Yeah.
The title of his book. Okay. All of these technologies are transforming.
Transforming business, right? And how we do business,
Mhm.
uh, for sure is changing a
All
lot.
kinds of careers and businesses. That's right.
Yes, exactly.
Can you read the next?
The way that we earn our living is going to change, not in 30, but I don't remember, 12 years?
In
Not in
this
30, but
decade.
Yeah, but less.
Gonna change, not in 30 years, but in 10 years time, okay? In this
Well,
decade.
yes, or even less, right?
Yes, mainly
Because
because
think
this,
about the last 10 years. Think about the last 10 years, how much had changed in the like the way that we live, you know?
yes, yes. So in 10 years, there will be another life,
Yeah,
another
for
kind of
sure.
life. Okay, you are going to need to sort of surf on
On top of the tsunami.
instead of.
Instead of be hit by the tsunami, right?
That's right. That's right. Okay. People moved out of the rural areas
Into the cities, right? Going to the cities
in order to find jobs.
in order to find jobs, in order to do different things, right?
And what is happening now? People are having remote jobs and they can live in the country again, wherever they want.
Exactly. Yeah, a lot of people are buying houses in the countryside so they can work from that, from
That's
like the
right.
countryside city instead of the capitals, right?
And do you like remote working home office?
I like it. I was talking to a teacher about this this week. I like it, but I like the middle, you know, because I still like the contact with people, you know,
Yeah.
to go. And I think it's interesting because you have a different way of conversation. You talk about different subjects when you have this contact, you know. When you're doing home office, you don't call the person just to talk. You call the
Exactly.
person to like solve a problem, to do a meeting or anything like that, right? But when you go in person, then you have different conversation, you have different opportunities. I think increase the networking, you know. So I like both. So I like a mix of both, you know, to do home office, but also to have some time together, to be with other people, to have different conversation.
Mainly during this
So
pandemic, we are missing this contact with people, aren't we?
for sure. Yes, yes, I miss that. For example, during the classes, we have the break, right? The 10 minutes break, and I miss the coffee, you know, during the break.
It was the best
Talking
part
to
to
people,
get in touch with all the students and know a little bit
some,
about their
talk
personal
about
lives.
talk about different subjects, you know.
Okay.
So sometimes you learn things during a coffee, you know,
Exactly,
during the coffee
exactly.
time. So
And it's so
I miss that
important
part.
to have this kind of chat, isn't it?
Yes, yes, exactly. Mhm.
Okay, so let's see. There are 7 different forces accelerating how.
Accelerating how we do business or
How we are going
we
to
spend,
live in the future, how we are going to solve problems.
how we're going to solve problems, how we're going to live.
So there are
Yeah,
7 different forces. Okay, it's got
wow.
7 billion transistors and it's 27 billion times
Faster.
faster. That's right. So he's talking about
Faster,
the transistors,
faster.
okay?
And better.
Okay, all these technologies are accelerating in.
All these technologies are accelerating in less time.
In a pace that we have never imagined, okay? In a
Yes.
velocity we have never imagined, okay? All right, so let me,
Yes.
before we finish this class, let me try to challenge you to remember the 7 different forces. Can you?
Oh gosh, I don't know. Let's see.
You weren't prepared for that, were you?
I was not prepared for that. Let's see.
Well,
Okay.
the first one is technology, isn't it?
Technology. Uh, Let me see. Is the seven forces, right? The
Yeah, the
seven.
7 forces that are accelerating the way we live.
Okay, let me see. Let me see if I remember. Communication.
Communication.
Um, 7 different forces. Let me see. Let me see.
I'm giving you a clue.
Yeah.
Look.
Money. Money.
There's so much money involved, and
Yeah.
nowadays people are investing a lot in this innovation.
True. What else? Let
What
me see.
else?
The communication, money.
Longevity.
Longevity,
Okay,
yes.
so we are gonna be healthier and we will live more.
True that, true. What
Maybe
else?
connection with people. I don't
The
remember.
connection.
Okay, let me see if I have them here. We will have to come back to the. We don't have it in the. Well, okay, so this is gonna be an extra post for Gringopolis showing you the seven forces, okay?
The 7 different forces.
I promise.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, I remember just the ones that that we said now. I don't remember the other ones, but
Yes,
I need to check
it's
the video
almost
again
impossible to
let me know.
remember seven data, isn't it?
Yes,
Okay,
exactly.
so this could be a homework for you to watch it again and make a list of the 7 changes, the 7 forces, okay?
Yes.
So it was a pleasure
I hear
talking to
it.
you, Ju. I hope people like this class. If you like, click
It
in the
was
button
great.
below. Are you there?
Subscribe in the videos to see the other videos that we're gonna make as well, right? Gee, it was also great again to talk to you. It was a pleasure to be here and have this awesome conversation and discussion. I love to talk about technology, so this video is really good. So
Was amazing, wasn't it?
thank
It's a
you
video to write.
for this class today. It was amazing. The video will be available in both channels, right?
That's right.
It would be
Gringopolis for
available.
all and up level idioms. Okay, so see you next week then, Ju.
Very good.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.